Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil. Having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by RaceBurst.
Hello and welcome to round number 2 of the RIL, the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, for another round. This is kind of a classic. We've been doing it each season. This is the 3rd season of the RIL IndyCar Series here, and Will Zeller has been our champion the first 2 times we've come here. We'll see if he's able to repeat. We are currently in qualifying. We've been in, this is a 15-minute qualifying session, and we are about 3 minutes to go in that. Hot laps will count though. We got some new names out here. Isaac Morris making his first RIL start here today. And he's one of the quick cars out there, Apex Sage coaching car. Other familiar names, we've got Gavin Sanders. He was strong last season and looks to be continuing that. Dakota DeMade, our current championship leader. Speaking of which, let's see if we can pull up those championship points. Dakota DeMade at the top spot, James Watson in P2, Alex Simkowski P3, and Nicholas Isidro in P4, and Matt Cosgrove P5. So looking through the rest of the field there. Few names not here tonight. One big one that isn't here tonight is Caleb Bensi, not able to make the race. He is our 2-time champion of the RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, but he should be back next week, as Gavin Sanders currently at the top of the board. Will Zeller P2. So Will Zeller, as I mentioned, the champion the previous 2 seasons. Isaac Morris making his first start. Dakota DeMade, our current points leader. Dylan Blanton's called it a day. James Watson on pit lane. Chris Albee here, really quick. Been here last 2 seasons in this IndyCar, Papyrus IndyCar Racing 2 livery that me and Gary, who's not in the booth tonight, really love this livery. He wasn't here last week, but back here this week, so we're happy to have him. right. Apologies for a little bit of a hiccup there. Welcome to the RIL IndyCar Series.
The RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series is brought to you by Schaeffer's Oil. Do you know your Schaeffer? Raceverse, the broadcast provider ready for you. And iRacing, the newest form of competitive motorsport.
All right, yeah, so what I was about to say, we've got Gavin Sanders on the provisional pole. We'll go through the grid. It's a very short grid here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Assuming there's two options that the admins have. We might have a really long pace lap or we have a really short one. So let's go through. We still got some cars on the track, but I think we're pretty good for our pole sitter being Gavin Sanders at a minute 43.936, followed by Isaac Morris in the Apex Sage coaching car, making his debut here in the series, followed by E3 Will Zeller. Champion the last two seasons we ran at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, followed by Christian Jasper. Really quick there for Christian, followed by Dakota DeMade, our current points leader. Chris Albee making his return to the series. And Dylan Blanton, P7. Christopher Kresge, our admin there in P8. James Watson, our turbo champion, P9. Jacob Odell, P10. Andrew Spates, P11. Michael Holler, in P12. Stephen Ritter's P13. Shane Coogan, P14. Matt Cosgrove in P15. Anna Schlegel, P16. Lewis Woodall, P17. Alex Simkowski, P18. Really impressive field here tonight. Lucas Santos, P19. Nicholas Isidro in P20. Scott Wheeler in P21. Zachary Flom, P22. Jonathan Libertor. Kyle Mundell. Antonio Benini. Caleb Morrissey. Pete Donchak there in P27. Joseph DeCiro and Drew White not able to qualify here yet, as this is the rest of the field here. So I don't know what everybody heard of my intro. Had some technical difficulties with my microphone there for a bit, but this is the RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. This is round number 2 from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. This is Matt Houston from Raceverse. We're going to be doing 35 laps here tonight, as we're about to find out whether we have this short pace lap or not, or if I actually did have enough time to go through the entire field. Nope, it looks like we're doing the short pace lap here. So Gavin Sanders on the pole. We wait for him. Although, let me see this. No, this is the short pace lap. A lot of these drivers, Road America is very common on the schedule in a lot of leagues, so a lot of drivers have a lot of experience here at this particular course. And yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in here tonight. I expect our viewer count's going to be a little bit lower, that the Bensi family will not be watching, but we'll have everybody else here in viewership. Really great qualifying effort by Christian Jasper. I just have to say that. And we'll wait. We do have a 2-minute wait if cars have not gridded. So we're setting up for 35 laps here tonight from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Porsche pace car. That's a good choice there to our admin. Heading up to the Raceverse chopper. Kind of an overcast day, from what I can tell. And I think we're about to get these cars rolling. Here we go. Gavin Sanders leads us. It's going to be an exciting turn one here, I have to imagine, with almost 30 cars here. Pace car ducks in. And we have our green flag here tonight. Gavin Sanders has a good jump. Isaac Morris on the outside. Will Zeller trying to stick his nose in there. Try to get inside of Isaac Morris. Isaac's making it work on the outside there, though. Push to pass for Gavin Sanders. Christian Jasper as well back here. And this is where it gets exciting, down to the turn 5 here. Isaac Morris is going to go for the lead in turn 5. Side by side they go. And Isaac is going to have that lead through turn 7. Dakota DeMade, our champion, making it through safely. I think we've got a big gap back to about P13. We've got Andrew Libator, or Jonathan Libator, with some damage there. A few cars with damage. Got 2 NASA cars, I believe, here. Michael Holler as well. We're going to have to check out what happened there. Let's see if we can pull up a replay here. Some action at turn 5, I believe, or this is actually turn 6. Side by side. Kresge goes through the grass, comes back on the track. I think Kresge got away with that one pretty well. Still rolling. Maybe a little bit of damage inside goes. Might have been Santos there. Heading back up to live pictures. Isaac Morris snaking on the front straightaway here. Oh, we've got Zeller is around, heavy contact there, and he tows immediately. Let's see what happened there. We're not going to have a repeat winner here from previous seasons in Will Zeller here tonight. See what happened to Will here. Looks inside of Gavin Sanders. Way too much curb. And into the wall. Front wing knocked off. Not that bad of damage, though. But he's going to call it a day. James Watson's up to P4. Jasper's then up to P3. Jasper's on that podium position. Several cars involved on pit lane from that first lap incident there. Steve Ritter's, Hannes Schlegel, Scott Wheeler, Isidro. Kresge's back to 24th. I don't know if he, yeah, he did stop. I think he had a little bit of damage. We do have a fast repair here, so. Gavin Sanders right on the gearbox of Isaac Morris. I think this is the action that we're going to see through the rest of the night as we head back to a battle for the podium position. James Watson goes inside of Christian Jasper. Oh, Christian tries to make a comeback. Sun really shining on the track at the moment. Gonna heat up the track, heat up these tires. I know Dakota wants to get on this podium tonight for this championship run that he's going to be making. He's coming under pressure from Albee there. Oh, and we've got... Okay, that was not Sanders. That was a lapped car, it appears. Not sure exactly who that was. Might have been... It was Wheeler. If we can get a look here. It's going to loop it in that Napa car. It looks like he did the right thing and waited for the leaders to come by, though, so that's good sportsmanship by him. So on our straightaway here, on the Kemmel Straight, or Kettle Bottoms, not Kemmel Straight, Kettle Bottoms, is Isaac Morris was on push to pass. Dakota DeMade also on push to pass, looking inside of Christian Jasper. Not quite able to make that move work. Let's go on board with Dakota here. That podium is in sight. Dakota has used 3 push-to-passes here. Only lap 4, so you might want to save some of those. There's some action between Woodall and Cosgrove here. Woodall has not used the push to pass. Cosgrove is on push to pass. Getting a little bit of extra speed on this straightaway. Heading back up to this battle for 4th. This is a really good battle. Oh, and we've got Cosgrove going off out of turn 5. Let's see what happens. He had this run down the straightaway, was on push to pass. Sometimes when you're on that push to pass, you get in a little bit faster into the corner than you thought you were going to, and you end up looping it. And that's, yeah, he overshot it, and coming back, he loops it coming back. So, tough break there for Cosgrove. James Watson's breaking away just slightly from Jasper back there. Yeah, I want to go on board with Albee. That's a good seat in the house here. Albee has not used any of his push-to-passes here. And Morris has gapped up there for that battle for first position, has gapped about a second on Sanders. Not going to need any fuel saving here tonight. They can get 35 laps. They can get 12 to 14 laps on a tank of fuel. And so that 12 laps would be 24, and another 12 laps from there would be 36. So it's really easy to stop her. But you, as Albee gets a really good run on Dakota there. And now Albee's going to see what he can do as with Jasper, as Jasper's actually caught up to Watson up there as well. Albee on his overtake button at the moment. We go on board with him. You can see that green light on his steering wheel there on the LED panel. And there it goes, turns off because the push to pass turns off. As Watson gets a check up there. And we've got Jasper has taken over that 3rd position. But I want to see, Watson has dirty tires now. Got to get those cleaned off real quick. Otherwise, he'll come under pressure, as Albee looking for that podium position over Jasper. And he has that position. The move is complete. So interesting strategy here. So everybody in the top 10 has started on red tires, except for Jasper. He started on the black tires. The black tires last a little bit longer. They might be a little bit less grippy. But these, at the start of the run anyway, But as this run continues, these tires might come in and be a little bit better than these drivers that are on the red tires, the alternates. Everybody around Jasper is on those alternates. So that might be what we're seeing with, well, Albie got around Jasper. What we're seeing with Watson and, say, Dakota here, they might be struggling with their tires just a little bit as Dakota kind of looks inside of, thinks about it, thinks better of it inside of Watson. Through the carousel they go. That's Jacob Odell back here in P7. I don't think Jacob ran any races, but he ran in our first season here in the series. As Dakota looks inside, not on push to pass or anything, he's going to make this happen the old-fashioned way. Nope, it's not going to happen. As Watson appears to have some trouble once again in Canada corner. So Andrew Spates there in P8. Shane Coogan, Western Waves car, P9. Lucas Santos in P10. Under pressure, that is not for position there. Lewis Woodall back in P11. Simkowski, P12. Zachary Flom in P13. Antonio Benini. I think I was reading earlier today that Benini was making his first IndyCar road start today, as he has Cosgrove going by on the inside. So back from Michael Holler in P18, everybody beyond there has actually pit. A lot of damaged cars on pit lane. Schlegel looks like he's good to go. Bonechak is good to go. Might just be making an early stop there. Heading back up to this battle for P5, P6, P7. Albie is checking out just slightly from Jasper there in P4. You can see Albie a little bit slow through that Canada corner exit as well. Comes under pressure from Jasper. I think that was the checkup there and puts Jasper right in range. It's those, got to be those red tires just going away ever so slightly on Albie's car here. At this point in the race, looks like everybody's kind of started to become conservative on their push to pass, because in that first 3 or 4 laps, I saw people using them quite a bit. Now everybody in the top 8 has 8 push to passes left, so they haven't been using them. With that said, Sanders up there in P2 has gapped about a half a second into Morris's lead here. And Dakota makes it work on the outside. I'm going to see if I can get a replay of this, because this looks like a perfect pass here. I think Dakota was on his push to pass here. Let's see if it goes on the replay. Yes, he is. Makes it work on the outside. Watson doesn't battle too hard on that, and Dakota takes over that top 5 position. Back to live pictures. Yeah, everybody in the viewership tonight can let me know who you're rooting for out there. Might get some camera time for anybody out there that you might be interested in seeing on the track. Jasper has really caught Albie, and again, Jasper's kind of on the preferred tire at this point in the run. Everybody's got to use the black tires or the red tires during the race, though, so Jasper probably going to switch on over to the red tires next run. Oh, as he goes off. Hopefully he doesn't have the stream running, listening to me talk about him. Just a little bit wide on that final corner. Gets into the grass, but keeps it heading in the forward position. into turn 5 here. Let's go on board with Gavin Sanders here. So, looking at the track map, this is turn 6. This slight kink is turn 7. This straight is known as the Hurry Downs into turn 8. Left-hander. And then they head into the carousel, one of the kind of character corners here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin Road America. And this is kind of considered 2 corners here. Onto the pedal bottom straight and the kink here. And probably the most famous corner, or at least the one everybody remembers, is Canada Corner. One of the heavy braking points on the track, one of the best passing points on the track. And they head through turn 12 and 13 and 14 onto the front straightaway. In that slipstream runs Gavin. Hitting that rev limiter. Looks like he's, so that was, you know, turn 1, and then this will be, actually turn 3, one of the kinks back there was turn 2. And the kink on the straightaway here is one of the corners, turn 3A. And somewhere on this straightaway is turn 4, and this hard braking up here is turn 5. And that will be about a lap here at Road America, as Isaac Morris gets locking up on his brakes there. So I'll be here in P3 about 10 seconds back from Sanders there in P2. Under pressure from Jasper. Made about 2.5 seconds back from Jasper. So Watson won in the Turbo Series here last season, so I think he really likes this particular track. It's kind of one of his all-star showings here, like one of his best races of his life. It was a little emotional on the victory celebration there. But he earned his position. We're talking about Watson. He earned his position in this series by winning that Turbo Championship. Spates there in P7. Getting a little bit too hot into Canada Corner there. Ben Coogan's coming up to P8 now. We had somebody has hit, and I think Shane was P9 at one point in time. Watson on push to pass. That's what I'm checking out here. It's a little far back. We've got Isaac Morris on the pit lane, our leader, into the pits. Again, because we really have a straight 2-stop strategy here. He can kind of pit anytime that pit window opens, and he's going to switch to the black tires here. But that's going to set him back into some lap traffic here. So he's going to have to be careful with that. That is the number 2 car of Jonathan Lubritor. Is a lap down already. So that'll put Gavin Sanders at the lead of this field. It's going to be really tight with Gavin here when he decides to pit, or where he comes out compared to Isaac Morris. I see Gary out there in the chat here tonight. Gary will be working here momentarily, about a half hour's time, so that's why he's not joining us here tonight. And I don't think I saw a rainbow car, Gary. So I'll be in P2 and Jasper in P3. Dakota moves up, but again, basically Isaac Morris got to get through this lap traffic cleanly, and it looks like he did. But we're going to want to keep an eye on Sanders stays out. Chris Albee into the pit lane here from second position. Jasper, I imagine, is going to go the longest here because he is on those black tires. Gavin on push to pass. He's trying to make that gap. But that last lap for Gav is a minute 46. We're going to be looking at what can Isaac Morris do as Dakota, also in the pit lane here. Albee is out. Watson in the pit lane too. So hopefully they don't get caught up. All right, well, we are back. We had a power outage here at the Race First Command Center, so we're getting everything loaded back up. I'm not sure if that was a lightning strike or what it might have been, but we are back, so getting everything loaded up. Missed quite a few laps there, but I see Isaac Morris back into the lead. Gavin Sanders currently in P2, so in fact, Isaac Morris has gapped pretty big there. I don't know if Gavin had an off or something, but we missed a few laps there, probably 6 or 7 laps. Apologies for that. One thing is internet, but another thing is is your power. Not much I can do about that one. So I'll be there in P3. Dakota DeMade making it into P4. Shane Coogan there in up to P5, so really good run by him. Watson, something happened to Jasper too, but again, I'm not 100% sure where the pit stop cycles have taken everybody, so Jasper is staying out on black tires though, so he's going to do his third stint with the red tires. Again, apologies for the mess up there, but not much we can do about that one. So, having a look through the field, cars that are out, Will Zeller, our champion from previous seasons, last two seasons. He's won at Road America here, but we're gonna have a new champion here tonight at Road America. I'm looking for, okay, the closest battle we have on track is James Watson and Shane Coogan there. And it's about a 9/10 of a second between Shane and James there. Pretty comparative lap times, talking about best laps by Shane and James there. Andrew Spates chasing down Lucas Santos. So really between that power outage and when I came back, the field really spread out a bit here. We've got a couple tight battles, but otherwise this is a really long track. So, you know, it's 4 miles, exactly 4 miles, and the cars can tend to spread out a little bit. Really curious what happened between Gavin and Isaac, though. We were wanting to see what happened between that with that pit stop. And Watson has gotten around Coogan there, so let me get a replay of that. Wonder if Shane just overcooked it in one of these corners here. Yeah, he does go wide at turn 5. Keeps the car from spinning, and Watson goes by on the inside. Textbook pass right there. Actually, not so textbook, because I saw Watson get a little squirrely, as Gary was saying yesterday on one of his broadcasts. But he kept it going in the right position. Oh, and we've got Shane making a comeback here. This is your tightest battle on the track. Shane is on the push to pass here. He's already got the pass nearly complete. I think Watson's struggling with those tires. Now we're going to be looking at who can get to about 12 or 13 laps to go, and then they're going to be good to the end here. As Jasper looking to get around Watson as well, catching up to this battle. Andrew Spates is catching up to Lucas Santos there. I wonder if Lucas Santos and Andrew Spates know about the push-to-pass button, because neither of them have used their push-to-pass button. Might just be saving it for the last laps of the race here. Chris Albee has used 7 push-to-passes here. That was Dakota DeMay getting around some lap traffic in Drew White. Looks like we've got about 5 cars that have called it a day. Drew White there is our last car running in 24th. It's running the number 24 Jeff Gordon livery. That was Kresge getting around him. And that RIL entry. Really good looking car there, Chris. There's Gavin Sanders getting around Donchak there. So this season we do have a drop race. So Albee had missed last week, but it's not the end of the world for him, as it goes with Isaac Morris as well. It's not the end of the world. If he wants to make a championship run, he gets an off week, just like Caleb Bensey, our championship winner from the last 2 seasons. It's not the end of the world that he's missing this race. Of course, you don't want to really miss a race, but it's not the end of the world this season, anyway. So Santos is caught up to Jasper. This is a battle for 7th position. I saw one of those cars did hit one of the cones back there. I think Jacob Odell here had an issue because he's in P13 and earlier in the race he was running about P8. So Shane here on those primary tires is running about 0.4 of a second faster than Dakota up there. But there is a 4-second gap between them. He's going to have to keep running those kind of laps until the end of the race here, and especially when they change over to the red tires. Still about that 8-second gap between Isaac Morris and Gavin Sanders here. I guess going back to the question Gary had earlier, if we had a rainbow car, I guess we do have the Rainbow Warrior here. So, Andrew White. Chris Albee using another push to pass. He's only got 2 left. We've got about 13 laps left in this race, so anybody that pits at the moment will be good to go to the end of the race. This battle between Spates and Santos, Lucas Santos, and the 8th position is the closest battle on the track at the moment. Number 33 car and the number 4 car of Santos. Jacob Odell making his final pit stop on lap 23. And he will go a lap down because that was Gavin Sanders at the top of the shot. And that is Nicholas Isidro. Looks like his internet issues are sorted out this week. Had some heavy internet issues that was discussed after the race. I think we have a incident in the pit lane there. That was Donchak, I believe. So let's see what that was. This might be, oh boy. I'm sorry, Pete. I'm gonna go off of that so we don't show that too much. We're not here to embarrass anybody. So, that battle between Santos and, but Santos has, oh, sorry. Spates might have had an issue or something because he's no longer part of this battle. And he hasn't hit the pit lane either. Yep, there it is. See, at Canada Corner. It's been a lot of people today. Just gets in way too hot. But no contact, so he keeps it going. But that's going to set him down several spots as Isaac Morris is in the pit lane, as is Gavin Sanders. Gonna have about 11 laps to the end of the race here. Albie also hits the pit lane. Looks like Dakota's gonna stay out. Maybe he's thinking, I'm gonna lead a lap here and get that bonus point. I don't think he led that lap, but if he stays out one more, then he will. We get that Sunset Arctic Games car, some good shots. I guess while we do that, we can play a Sunset Arctic commercial. Can we do that?
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.
Yeah, that was a game there developed by Dakota Demade here in the Sunset Arctic graphics and games car here. You can add it to your Steam wishlist today. So Dakota is going to duck into the pits. Hopefully he gets that lap lead though. The leaders aren't too close to stop him from getting that. I think they might be though. Yeah, he's gonna have to be careful on that one. I'm not sure if he actually got that. But of course, if he had to pit, he had to pit. Shane Coogan also in the pit lane. Jasper stays out. Up to P2. Where's Gavin Sanders in all of this? Looks like Gavin's lost a little bit more ground somewhere in there. In that cycle of pit stops, because he's going to be down to about 19 to 20 seconds here. As we are at 10 laps to go. Really wide there for Dakota. And Shane Coogan has really caught him in that last round. of pit stops. They are both on the red tires now, and Dakota is actually on the push to pass right now. He knows Shane is hunting him at this point. Shane, pretty big mover here today, up from 14th place to 7th. Gonna gain a couple more spots here too, because Lewis Woodall also needs to pit, as does Jasper. And it's a really long pit lane here. James Watson on push to pass. Under pressure from, actually that's not for position though. He's just trying to make up some ground here. Jasper stays out. Few more cars in the pit lane. Shane has brought this down to 9/10 of a second. Shane has more push to pass than Dakota up there. We've got Lewis Woodall on the pit lane. So everybody has pit other than Albee. Right, sorry, Jasper. Dakota and Shane here are teammates from another series. So, I think they have mutual respect for one another. We'll see what happens here with this battle. Isaac Morris using a push to pass. Doesn't need to use it, but he's got him, so he might as well. So Isaac runs a sim racing coaching service. Isaac's pretty well known as a really quick driver in the iRacing service, and you can learn the skills from him by booking him for a session. So that's what he's running on the side of that car there, Apex Age Coaching. Jasper hits the pit lane. I see just a half a second between Dakota and Shane here. Best battle on the track here. And Shane has 9 push to passes left. He can use one every lap here to the end of the race. Might force Dakota to overdrive here. I think Shane had that alternate strategy last week at Homestead. It didn't work out for him, and it worked out for Dakota. Dakota took the win, and Shane might want to show Dakota that, you know, he should have won that one too. We'll see what happens here. Chris Albee up there in P3 is completely out of push to passes though. He is 4 seconds ahead. Actually, that is, you know, if they are to reel him in, that could be something. We will see where that goes here. 2 cars battling usually drive slower than 1 car circulating around the track on his own. Go on board with Shane here. Western Waves Media car. Throwback to a Jimmy Vasser Chip Ganassi car from the mid-90s. I think Shane is using his push, or holding on his push to passes so they can use them twice a lap somewhere at the end here. Assuming my data on this push pass is correct. Dakota going really wide on that exit of turn 3 there. Really good slipstream by Shane. Dakota goes defensive. A little bit of tire smoke and a little bit of a wheel in the grass there for Dakota. He's feeling the pressure from Shane. That arrow wash through the carousel, not good for Shane, though. You can really feel it. But when they get on the straightaway, he picks up that slipstream once again. Shane just staying right in striking distance, but have to remember that these tires are going to go off at some point, and you want to make that move before the tires go off. So I don't know. This is the closest battle on the track, though. Spates and Isidro up there is about a little bit more than a second between those. And Shane looks inside. Really good battle between these drivers here. And Shane hasn't even used the push pass here for this. Is that the nickname for Watson, is Watspin? He's doing good today. He's our turbo champion. He was in that podium position earlier in the race, though. Got back a couple spots since then. Kresge on the pit lane. I think he's calling it a day. As is now Morris. Morrissey is still out here. Shane is back right there. And Shane is on push to pass here, so he's got him. And he's going to take that inside line. And he's going to take over that spot, but he overshoots it. And Dakota has the position. Overcooks it into that corner, but he recovers. He's got plenty of space between him and Watson. Watson's just coming out of that corner, but now he's about 3 seconds back from Dakota. Just gotta brake a little bit earlier than that, Shane, especially when you got that push to pass on and you're coming up that corner about 10 miles an hour faster than you were previously. Good battle between here. Spates getting around Isidro there. See if we can get a replay of him going around him. Yep, there it is right there. Side by side down. Great. Inside goes Andrew Spates. Looks like Isidro is going to try to come back on the outside, though. Gets a little bit too much wheel spin, though, and that is Spates' position. Isidro's still there, though. 4 laps to go here from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Isidro is right there. Spates is on push to pass, though, to prevent a pass. But Spates is actually, he's got one more after this. We got 4 laps left. Isidro's got 4 pushes, so you can use 1 every lap here from here on out. At the front of the field, dominating fashion is Isaac Morris. That lead has been brought down slightly from Gavin Sanders, but it was 18 seconds, and now it's 15. A little bit too late to get anything going here. Shane has caught back up to Dakota here. About 1.5 seconds between the drivers. Shane's got a fast car here today. That last lap for Dakota is 1:48, and Shane's got those pushed passes, so he's on the button at the moment. Gonna get up into that slipstream. See if he's going to have another go at Dakota here with 3 laps to go. Back on board with Shane. That is Dakota up there also on push to pass now. Shane is not on it. Yeah, Shane's about 0.5 second faster per lap here. Pushes a little bit in that corner, turn 6. And Shane is on push to pass here. And Isaac Morris is our leader. Shane on push to pass here too. You might not want to use them too quickly though. Dakota goes defensive. Very defensive. Inside line goes Shane. Shane's got that move complete, but now we're going to be watching Dakota making a comeback. They have equal on push to pass here. 2 laps to go. Shane Coogan gets into that 4th spot. Too bad we're not able to interview either of these drivers here. We're just doing podium interviews here tonight. Dakota a little slow out of that exit there, I thought. Still within 3/10 though. So Shane made that pass work at a different place than we've seen on a lot of other cases here tonight, where most of the passes were into Canada corner or they were into turn 5. Shane is on push to pass up here. And he's gapped about a second, 1.1 seconds over Dakota up there. And Isaac Morris on his final lap here, dominating performance tonight. Didn't lead every lap though. Gavin Sanders did lead a couple laps in here. James Watson coming around with 1 lap to go. He is on push to pass, just trying everything he can. About 2 seconds back. Actually 8 seconds back from Dakota, but 2 seconds ahead of Jasper there. Through the carousel one last time, Isaac Morris goes. And 1 more turn to go for Isaac Morris here. Apex Sage Coaching. And he's checker flag. He's going to do the weave as he comes across the line. And victory for Isaac there. Gavin Sanders going to come home in P2, our pole sitter here tonight. So he's going to get those bonus points plus a bonus point for leading a lap or 2. Chris Albee, another 24 seconds back. That's Shane and Dakota. They've both used up all their push to pass here. But I think for Dakota, he's going to think, yeah, you wish he got on that podium, but, you know, he's going to come away with this still with the championship lead. So that's what he wants. See what Isaac does here. There we go. Okay, well, I will be right back. We'll get our interviews going here. All right, we are back. Let's see if we can get our winner up here in the booth. Hey, Isaac, this is Matt up here in the booth. Do I have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wow, you're a little bit loud up here. Let me turn
Oh,
you down.
sorry.
No, you're good. Well, you qualified second, which is surprising for you, but you had to work and get around Gavin during the race. Then you kind of dominated through the race here. So tell me about your race, but congratulations on the win.
Hey, thank you. Yeah. So in qual, I know Gavin had a tow, so he had uh, his lap was actually projected to be a 44.3, and then my lap, I just nailed it and didn't get a tow, so yeah, it all came down to 3600. So that was kind of disappointing. But hey, yeah, the race was good. Pulled off a move on Gavin nice and early. I wanted to clean air because I know some corners around here are so important to have clean air through. And plus as well, the setup had so much downforce. As soon as the dirty air hits the front wing, you're just going to understeer and just lose out on so much momentum to the car ahead. So I knew I had to get that move done early. But then, yeah, for the rest of the race, it was just all about not making mistakes and keeping the pace up and getting through lap traffic safely. And yeah, that was pretty much the race. And it was fun. It was a good fun race.
Yeah, and you didn't have to worry about doing any fuel save here with how the laps came down. As long as you made it to, lap 12 or lap 24, then you were good to go to the end of the race. So that's good. Hey, good win here. This is your first start in the series, right? You didn't do any turbo series previously, did you?
No, yeah, this is my debut.
Yeah,
in
so
the
debut
series.
win. That's pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I mean, it was actually a really good race and really well organized. So good job to the admins and everyone who organizes RIL. And yeah, just this is probably going to be like a one-off. I might do in like another few road courses or so, but usually my Wednesday nights are taken up. So but I had a free Wednesday night, so I thought, hey, may as well give it a bash.
Yeah, it's good for the sponsorship there. I mentioned Apex Sage quite a few times during the broadcast, but if you want to give a shout out to them yourself, go ahead and do it.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. So yeah, I'd obviously like to give a shout out to my coaching academy, Apex Sage Coaching, where I help people who aren't or who are struggling to improve in the IndyCar. I can give out coaching sessions to help them improve. So if you want to get in contact with me, follow me on Twitter at Apex Sage Coach, and pop me a DM, and we can always talk it out and try and figure out a training plan for you guys. So yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I also really like the new livery that you got, and I know Dakota made that one.
Oh
But
yeah, so yeah,
it's pretty groovy.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so and a shout out to Dakota as well for making the livery. He did a great job, and got the the teams that I've represented under Apex Age coaching on the car. So just shout out to Dakota as well.
Sounds good. Well, we'll talk to you next time you're around. Obviously, I'll see you in other leagues. So
Yes, thank you
all
very
right,
much, Matt.
take care, Isaac.
You too.
All right, bringing in P2. Hey, Gavin. Oh, that was a loud
Oh,
pop.
sorry.
Hey, how's it going there? You had the pole, but at the end of the day, Isaac's really quick around here.
Yeah.
No fuel saving, anything like that. He got around you, and I mean, I think you led a couple laps, but he had it covered here. But tell me about your race.
Good. Not much I could have done, but getting to the pole was nice, especially with the setup. I wasn't really feeling super comfy coming into it. But to get a throw on a lap like that, even with the open qual and everything, it was pretty nice. And then, yeah, just a couple of mistakes. I seem to, for some reason, have a curse. I can finish really good at all these tracks in any other series, and then I come to this series and I'm just brutal. But yeah, no, not too bad. I can take that and get some points and make up for last week.
Yeah, well, last week was a little bit tough with how the fuel situation went. So it's
Yeah.
good to have a recovery here. But next week we're at Pocono. Any thoughts going there?
Well, after the the VOR race, I do feel pretty comfortable, but I'll make sure to make sure I had enough fuel and actually finish that one as well.
Well, sounds good. Hey, any shout outs to sponsors, that kind of stuff? I know you got VOR on the car right now, but you've got some other names on there too.
Yeah, specifically Team 4, but Braden Motorsport, Alpine Stars, Stilo, Fat Bastard Burrito, Kamigoe eSports, and yeah, the list goes on, but I won't bore you guys, so too many to name.
Well, sounds good, Gavin. I'm sure we're going to be talking to you a lot more on the podium and broadcast booth here throughout the season.
Sounds good. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Bye.
Hey, Chris, this is Matt up here in the booth.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, great run out there today. You started 7th, you finished 3rd. You battled through, you passed some people. And I was watching, you were using your push to pass quite extensively through that race.
Yeah, I was, and I'm terrible at math.
Well, it worked out for you, and you got into that podium position. So, but yeah, tell me about your race. Otherwise,
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, really. Once we kind of settled in, few incidents early, but then kind of a group of 3 of us stuck together, and then I think Jasper spun off at Canada Corner, and then it kind of stretched out. But at the end, I was pretty worried about fuel, so I was just kind of packing in laps for the last 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah. Well, you at one of the here at Road America, you can save a lot of fuel. So one of these places. So.
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. But not obviously in contention up at the front 2. They had a good little battle going, it seemed like.
Yeah, they did. So I know you missed the race last week. Are you planning to be here from here on?
Yeah, hopefully that'll be my one drop race.
Yep.
So it's nice to start it off with a decent result since last season I don't think I was able to put 2 good races together. So.
Yeah, I remember you had these great runs last season where you were in, the top 5, but something would happen.
Oh man!
Well, at some point in the race, something would happen, and yeah, like suddenly you'd be, either out or you'd be, in like.
Oh, I had a ton of DNFs out of the probably top 5, most of them.
Yep, I do remember one of them, and Julian will hate me talking about it, but there was that one from Watkins Glen because he took out like 3 or 4 of the top runners.
Oh, that was a great battle too.
Yeah,
such a good battle.
Yeah. So, but yeah, really good run here tonight, and we hope to see you. So next week's Pocono, back to the ovals. So, any thoughts?
Yep, there? I'm sure I'll be running out of fuel at the end of that one.
Dakota won that one on fuel strategy previously.
Yeah, that was definitely a fuel race last time. So,
well, we'll see you back. We'll see you if you're on the podium, and good luck and great run here tonight.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. All right, that's it for us here tonight, at least from that standpoint. Let me go through the final results, though. We have, if I can get this up, Discord was in my way. We've got Isaac Morris taking victory in his first race, Gavin Sanders P2, Chris Albee P3, Shane Coogan P4, Dakota DeMade in P5, James Watson P6, Christian Jasper P7, Lucas Santos P8, Lewis Woodall P9, Michael Fuller P10, Zachary Flom P11, Jacob Odell P12, Nicholas Sidro P13, Matt Cosgrove, Antonio Benini. I think Antonio had said this was like going to be his first road course IndyCar start, so all is fair. That's pretty good. Steven Ritters, P16, Alex Simkowski. Alex was on the podium last week. Not quite as good of luck this week as it was then. So Andrew Spates, P18, Hannes Schlegel, P19, Caleb Morrissey, Pete Donchek, Christopher Kresge, Kyle Mundell, Drew White, Dylan Blanton, Jonathan Libertor, Joseph DeCiro, Scott Wheeler, P28, and our champion from the last, not the Road America champion from the last 2 seasons, out the first car in P29. So that's it for us here tonight. We will be back next week for Pocono here from the RIL Schaeffer's Cup. We will see you guys then, and we'll go out with a commercial from Schaeffer's here.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.